Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be reacting to a video titled "How Team Flash Demolished Earth X from Existence: Crisis on Infinite Earths" by the name's Joshua, I think. Bro, I'm still watching The Flash. I think I'm on season 8, but I did see this episode, especially the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Bro, Team Flash was demolishing people. They were whipping them. Especially, bro, they were Nazis. Bro, he's lucky that Nazi Superman did not pull up, because other than that, they're cooked. Nazi Batman doesn't exist because Batman doesn't exist in this universe. Batwoman does. But if Batman existed, Nazi Batman cooking everybody, gang.
Think about someone you dislike, someone you hate, someone you despise, and now ask yourself, do you hate them enough to become a Nazi? And of course, the Reverse Flash does,
It's
as he
crazy.
teams up with Nazi Arrow and Nazi Supergirl. So let's talk about it. We start off at Barry's wedding, and I gotta be real,
I ain't
it's
gonna lie,
looking
bro. It
beautiful.
was
Such a blissful event.
that
What could
wedding
possibly
was
go wrong?
was so.
Nah, bro. The pastor got eviscerated. Bro was just a bystander. But sadly, we can't worry about him right now because Nazis pull up, crashing the
Pulling
party,
up with
and
the
they
bleak
start letting
blicks.
it rip. And Barry pulls up, catching the bullets. And then we see
Oh yeah,
Gramps
bro.
and
I
Uncle
ain't gonna
Drew.
lie.
And these boys hit the coldest fusion.
That
A
boy
sensational
Wally,
dap
bro,
up,
Wally
transcending
looks
you into
so
ultimate
fly
being.
in
Bro,
his
that was heat.
in one of
Imagine
these
if Goku
scenes,
and Vegeta
bro.
did this. Rather than touching
That's
tips, we check on Caitlyn,
bro.
and she becomes
He
Killer
turned into
Frost.
Chris
And Killer
Breezy
Frost is
for a
not worried
second.
about the Nazis.
Where did she get these outfits?
She's worried about her drip. That's main character
Crazy work.
energy. And now we see Sarah putting in that
RP
work
Flash.
and looking good while
RP,
doing it. But
Frost.
unfortunately, Sarah has her hands full, so she can't save this poor woman. And she's about to get lit up. But don't forget,
Wally
Barry
got
isn't
it.
the only speedster. Wally comes in catching the bullets and throws them back at the Nazis, causing their guns to explode. And now we see Supergirl and Evil Kara, and they speed blitz each other, flying through the roof. But Evil Kara sends Supergirl crashing down. And look at how she pulled back up. I can't lie, Supergirl might be cooked because she gets pinned to the wall. And Evil Kara's about to end her career. But Supergirl weaves it and follows up with a superb uppercut, sending Evil Kara
I've
flying.
watched the
Back to Sarah. She hits a hair.
I've definitely watched the I finished the Arrowverse and Black Lightning. Black Lightning was so good, gang. It was so good. Oh my, bro, I can remember the theme song. Last night I saw a superhero and he was black. He told me this is for the streets. Black Lightning is back, bro. I wish they would have did it where like they had more than just, I think, 6 seasons, where it had like 9 seasons like the Flash does, right? So it's like we get him where he's like the first 3 seasons we get young him, and then it does a time skip to like season 4, and it's like that's where they do a story.
Rana and needs this goon skull. The move was so nice that an upper rank had to pull up.
White
But forget
Canary
all that,
is
because
double.
finally we see the man who became someone else, the man who became something else, Oliver Queen, and he's putting that ball to work. Evil Arrow tries shooting Wells, but all he shoots is Arrow, saving Wells' life. And
Yes,
look at the
sir.
nod of respect, bro. That's so cold. Back to Sarah, and she says,
Wanna fight?
now, I'm not gonna lie. If I heard that, I'm switching sides. That's an opportunity I refuse to miss. But Tommy doesn't feel the same. Oh yeah, this guy is Tommy Murray.
Oh, yeah,
and they start
that
2v1ing
was
Tommy. And I can't lie, Tommy is making them work. Back to Supergirl,
Work
she's having a
for it.
beam clash with Evil Kara. We check on Wally, and he's using that speed to the fullest, getting an instant 3-piece. Evil Arrow tries shooting
Chicken
Wally,
fried
but
chicken,
Wally
bro.
catches that. And bro, I know this guy's a Nazi, but I just
He
can't
but
help
he stood
it
it like
because
that.
Nazi Arrow knew that Wally would catch it and electrocutes him,
Boom.
taking Wally out to fight. This man, Oliver Queen, defeated Wally West and Barry Allen. Bro, check the resume. Ollie is like that. Good Ollie.
Bro, this brings up something that people started getting mad about with their speedsters. So people believe that since you are super fast, you would have the ability to knock out everybody, to beat everybody, no questions, without any problems. That is false. That's not how super speed works. Not just because it's a writing thing, and it's also the strength of character scaling. Is that like somebody use accelerate versus dang, I think it was Vilgax. Yeah, accelerate versus Vilgax. They use that as an example. If accelerate was cooking Vilgax for a second, and then out of nowhere, accelerate got slow. Accelerate tried to attack Vilgax from the back, and Vilgax caught his hand and threw him around like a rag doll. The person that mentioned it said Accelerate was already crazy fast. He was using his full speed to punch on Vilgax, and out of nowhere, Vilgax ends up anticipating his punch and then countering. That makes no sense for people with speed. Actually, it does. Somebody also brought up the fact that yes, the Flash's speed is not constantly steady the way it's supposed to be in the show, but they complain about, since Flash is able to he's able to go into Flash time, he can beat everybody, literally everybody, by just freezing time easily. That's not how Flash time works, and that's not how super speed works. It doesn't matter how much time you can freeze it. I'm gonna use Batman. I'm gonna use, but instead of using Batman, because we already know Batman has beaten Flash multiple times. Let's use let me see, Superman. Well, no, not Superman, because it's, let's use I ain't finna use Arrow either. Let's use Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific, I think he ended up tripping. He ended up setting a trap for Flash. Flash fell for it, and then lost that fight. Let's talk about Captain Cold. Captain Cold knew how fast Flash was, and he got used to fighting Flash with his super speed, so he made up plans to stop Flash from attacking him. He would freeze the road, make ice traps. He would find different ways to prevent the Flash from hurting him. It didn't matter how fast Flash was going; he was still going to have problems dealing with people. Super speed doesn't make you invincible. It just puts a bigger target on your back, and it makes it harder for you to beat your villains, because your villains are going to start using more plans and brain power to stop you.
Sees this and he's impressed, but he's also focused and tells Cisco to breach him to Evil Arrow, and Ollie comes in busting, but Evil Arrow blocks that, and these boys get to boxing. But back to Sarah, they're cooking this fool. The chemistry is amazing, and they effortlessly lay Tommy out. But back to what we came here for. Ollie and Evil Arrow are running a beautiful fade, but Evil Arrow gets the advantage. We check on Supergirl, and she gets thrown back into the building, and look at how Evil Kara comes in. All that ore farming is eventually going to cost you. See? Told you. And then Kara picks her up and hits her with the gut check, causing Evil Arrow to tell his team to fall back, ending their first meeting. But before we go to the next fight, we see that Evil Arrow and Evil Kara are working with the Reverse Flash, and he's livid because apparently they weren't supposed to attack yet. But Evil Kara says, calm down, and that they will spin the block, and they spin the block immediately. The team gets footage of Nazis breaking into some random place, so you already know what's about to go down. Supergirl pulls up, Flash pulls up, and wait, where's... Oh, that must suck.
Reminder, super speed. I don't have it.
But he's still the most valuable person on the team, so that's all that matters. And then they get greeted by their evil counterparts, who finally reveal themselves. Flash is shocked. Supergirl is terrified. But look at Ollie. He's not even surprised, because he knew the only person that can match him arrow for arrow is himself. Literally. And now it's time to brawl. Barry starts chasing Reverse Flash, and Ollie draws the ball on Evil Kara, and she's trying to little boy Ollie.
And what do you think that's going to do? Bullets bounce off of me.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You think Oliver doesn't notice?
But little did she know, she's dealing with the man who became someone else. She's dealing with the man who became something else. And Ollie lets it rip, and the arrow starts opening it up, becoming a kryptonite arrow, and hits Evil Kara, leaving her in shock, Evil Arrow in shock, and even Supergirl's in shock, asking Ollie,
why do you have a kryptonite
just
arrow?
in case you ever go bad. The same reason why
Supergirl
Batman
gets heated
has
and
kryptonite.
flies up, ready to kill Ollie. But Kara comes in and blows her and all that confidence she had away. We check on Barry, and he just got bodied. And since the Nazis got what they came here for, and took out Barry, they forced Team Arrow to choose: save these worthless civilians or catch them. And you already know what Team Arrow chose. Ollie helps Barry up, and these boys book it to the building. Supergirl being super, Flash being speedy, and dog, look at this. Look at the camera work on Ollie. And he starts putting in that work, stabilizing the building. And after saving these civilians, it's time for Team Arrow to spin the block, and they get suited up. Peep the walkout. They even got bench players looking like starters. I can't lie, this is cold. They pull up to the function and are immediately greeted by Nazis, but Barry speed blitz all of them. That's going in an inconsistent montage, but we can't dwell on that because there's more enemies incoming. But this time, Flash can't speed blitz all of them because Reverse Flash pulls up and the chase begins. Bro, this should have happened at the wedding, but instead, Barry just chose to catch bullets. But with Barry gone, it's up to Ollie and the rest to handle these goons. And luckily, they've been here before. We got Ollie saucing on these nobodies. Even the baddies putting in work. And people how she leaves Supergirl. We see Sarah, and I don't know how bro went flying from a leg strike, but I'm gonna let it knee slide. But I don't know if you guys noticed, the Nazis are missing a member, and that's Evil Arrow. And then we see where he's at, and he's pulling up to Star Labs by himself. Bro, this is such a hard pull-up. And then he's met with Wells, and Evil Arrow allows Wells to push the emergency button before knocking him out. This man wanted everyone in that building to know that he's coming. Back to the war, Sarah knocks out 2 goons before hitting the most useless backflip I've ever seen. Another goon runs up, but he gets that same treatment. We check on Ollie, and this this man just hit a sweet chin music. Everyone's showing out right now. The move was so nice that it caught Evil Kara's attention, and she had to sneak Ollie. Laying man's out, down for the count, but Ollie opens his eyes and sees that Sarah is banging with Evil Kara. Did Sarah get some type of power up I don't know about? Ollie takes another glance, and Sarah is pinned against the wall, and Ollie, seeing a baddie in danger, instantly locks in. Ollie begins to stand and fires a shot at... Yeah, Ollie might be cooked, is what I would have said if I was a fool. Evil Kara tries to laser Ollie, but he weaves it and tags Supergirl in. We check back on Evil Arrow, and he's greeted by the flamethrower guy. And did this man did he dodge fire with a flip? I guess those flips are necessary. Evil Arrow shoots an arrow that ties up the flamethrower guy, but little did he know, Killer Frost was behind him and starts freezing his bow, transferring to his arm. It might be over for... This man may be a Nazi, but he's moving so cold, pun intended. And after taking out Caitlyn, this man starts feeling himself and says, "Anyone else want to be a hero?" And the answer is yes, because all these sidekicks pull up just to get cooked, showing them it's about quality.
Bro, get Mad Dog, New Black Canary, and Mr. Terrific out of my face. What they did to Oliver was BS. Now, mind you, I'm not expelling Oliver for what he did to make them do this. You literally spied on them because you couldn't trust him, which broke their trust to you when they found out. Okay, you shouldn't have did what you did. But the fact that you literally needed them not to attack or take this version of I forgot Royal or I forgot her name. But basically, Oliver's girlfriend before he ended up dating Felicity, the sister of White Canary, her variant came to Earth, this Earth to cause problems, but then started being rehabilitated, and Oliver needed her to get information on how to stop a problem. Wow, but literally since New Black Canary, Mr. Terrific, and Mad Dog, what was Mad Dog? Yeah, I think Mad Dog. They got irritated. They were mad at Oliver for spying on them. They got irritated and went to the forest to try to kidnap him. Mind you, Oliver told them as soon as they pulled up, "I don't want to fight you guys. I did need your help, but we cannot fight over this. We need her." They said, "Nah." Oliver warned them that he will hurt them. He needs her for evidence. They decided to attack Oliver. Mad Dog got punched. Oliver didn't even hit him. Oliver wrapped Mad Dog in the chest, and he went flying into a tree and was put into a coma. And then Mr. Terrific and New Black Canary were tweeting out like, "How could you do this? What do you mean you attack me? I told you not to attack me. And I barely hit him." After this whole thing, Mad Dog was rushed to the hospital. Oliver did, and Felicity tried to visit to make sure he was okay. Guess what? They started lashing on Oliver, telling him, "You attacked us. You hurt him and put him in the hospital. I told you not to attack me. I literally gave you warnings, and I said I didn't want to fight you. You still attacked." They ticked me off so much because they were always angry at Oliver because he spied on them, and then blamed him for the reason that Mad Dog got put in the hospital for their dumb actions of attacking Oliver after he told them not to. They get on my nerves. They didn't redeem themselves at the end of the show. I do not care. I do not like them.
Not quantity. And peep the highlight intro man's hit. Back to the war. We see Ollie cooking the last few Nazis, and now Team Arrow is grouped up, but the job's not finished because we hear something approaching, and it's just RGB2. They'll be fine. Supergirl gets blasted away with ease by a tin can. You should be ashamed of yourself. Firestorm tries sliding, but Mans gets punched out of fusion. And with all the heroes that have powers out for the count, Evil Kara and Reverse Flash start eating, taking out everyone. But Ollie is having a last stand. He grabs his bow, but before he can fire it, he gets stomped out by RGB2. And they have all these boys locked up. And Reverse Flash is loving this. And then Evil Kara and Evil Arrow pull up. Evil Kara collapses, but Evil Arrow gives her some words of strength, giving her the energy to stand once again. And then Evil Arrow tells everyone Star Labs is secure. Flash comes in saying,
"Star Labs is secure. If you hurt my friends..."
I did hurt your friends.
"I really enjoyed hurting your friends."
And then Ollie tells Evil Arrow,
"I'm gonna kill you."
Yep.
"You weak."
and I think that hurt Ollie because that came from himself. And then we find out their motive to take Supergirl's heart and give it to Evil Kara. And the only reason they didn't kill them yet is because they're more valuable as leverage, which is a fancy way of saying plot. The only person they needed was Supergirl. And actually, they didn't even leverage them. They sent them to Earth X to be executed. And long story short, that didn't happen. And they come back to Earth 1 for the final war. The final war begins, and we see Nazis raining havoc on civilians. Look at how Arrow smacked this dude, and then disarms this cop with one hand. Evil Arrow looks up and sees Team Arrow walking up. And yeah, this looks awesome. But where's the urgency? The Nazis run up, and the clash begins. The first thing we see is Sarah putting in that work. But where's the urgency? The Nazis run up, and
yeah, that's got to be Guardian. Who's that? But that's definitely Guardian because of the tin can.
The clash begins. The first thing we see is Sarah putting in that work. Nazis letting it rip, using everything in their arsenal to kill one person? Bro, that's pathetic. And they don't even get the kill because Wild Dog saved him. And the battlefield is intense. Everyone is playing their part. And then we see Flash versus Reverse Flash. And they're moving beautifully. We check on Ollie and Evil Arrow. And these boys are boxing on top of a truck. What made them do this? Anyways, Kara pulls up on Evil Kara. And these boys start running a Dragon Ball Z fade. We check it back on Flash. And he hits Dawn with an uppercut. Got Man's floating in the air. Weaves the kick. And this heats up Thawne. He picks Barry up and starts dragging him. Barry got dragged by Zoom, Savitar, and now Thawne. Bro, you've got to get your weight up. And then the boys run up a building before colliding. And Barry came out on top, pinning Thawne to the wall, ready to kill him.
Send it. Send it!
But Barry lets him go, and Thawne dips. We see Evil Kara, and she's having a meltdown, and is about to explode. No wonder she went in Kara's heart. Bro, this looks painful, but there's no saving her now. Supergirl flies her up, and away from everyone, taking Evil Kara to space, where she will go on to explode. Evil Arrow hears the explosion
That's his
and
baby.
immediately understands what happened. He turns his back and falls to his knees,
Ready
and
for you.
Ollie points the bow, ready to shoot. Evil Arrow faces Ollie and gets
Stupid.
shot in the heart. He had his heart broken and died to a heart shot. And notice how Ollie didn't shoot him until he turned around. This man Ollie is so goated. And then we see Kara falling, but she gets caught by this random bench warmer. And with that,
I do not
Crisis
know
on
who that
Earth
is.
X concludes. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
That outro was quick as a. That outro was mad quick. Hold on. Nah, bro. But bro, literally Oliver was waiting. He's been doing after he stopped killing. He does that move all the time. He's basically telling him stand down. If you don't stand down, I will shoot you with this arrow. Literally, sir. But did bro? R.P. to Ollie. R.P. to Frost Gang, bro. These too many people died, bro. But I do need to watch the rest of those other shows. Like, it's insane. That was the video, yo, though. Like, comment, whatever. I'll catch you on the next video.